What you doing, Rocky? Rocky? Well, good morning, everybody. This is the final day, day 7 of a week on MREs. Yesterday was a rough day with stuff going on that we are currently have been dealing with, so couldn't come worst timing for me, but this is the way it is. We're going to finish this off, however. I've got one MRE left. I'm probably going to have another pasta marinara today. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. And then we will see how much weight I lose. Pretty sure I'll make that 2 pounds. Shouldn't be a problem. Alright. As of right now, I gotta take care of something I just saw, so I'll be with you in just a second. So here is the last MRE I am doing. I do have a few left down here. However, I'm going to let Gail have 2 of them. She's probably going to have 1 of them today because those are the ones that she can have. And there is 1 left that she can't that I will definitely be having after this at some point. I don't know exactly when, which is another tortellini one. But checking out the contents inside this one, we got another toasted corn, which is very tasty, so glad for that. Another lovely peanut butter. Oh boy, I hope we get something decent with that. Pink lemon, which was pretty good last time we had it. Of course, and here is the big question. Oh, we get to use crackers this time, so peanut butter and crackers. That's cool. And then, of course, our pasta marinara with the heater, and then another oatmeal cookie. And that's it. So that's what we got for the last day. So we'll be making ourselves some coffee, peanut butter, and crackers. And also have a little bit of toasted corn before dinner. Here we are, peanut butter and crackers, cup of coffee. I am interested of trying the coffee when the week-on's over, not necessarily the first day after. I think the coffee, not being a coffee drinker, is part of the reason why I've started having between morning migraines and harder time waking up in the morning. Now, of course, this morning was totally different anyway, but I'm wondering if that's been the side effect of drinking coffee, being a non-coffee drinker. But I would like to explore, like, do I have more of a tolerance for it now if I added some other stuff to it, maybe had different coffees? Would it be something that I could actually find somewhat pleasant, not just the little bit of cream and sugar I get in this? It's funny because I've never liked coffee. Tried to, never did. I'm not as huge of a fan of the crackers as the tortillas, but they're fine. Lunchtime, toasted corn. We know how this is, pretty good. Gail, of course, gets the MRE that she has, fruit punch, which is something I never got during the week on, as well as cheese spread, which I never got during the week on. So 2 things I never got to try during the week on. Now, I will have one other one at some point. Hopefully I'll get to try that within that period, but it's not going to be for this purpose. So don't get it. Here we are once again. The final dinner, regular meal. I may Of course, I have a little bit more stuff, but for the most part, this is it. Got my lemon, pink lemon. It's probably my favorite one of the electrolyte drinks. And then, of course, the pasta marinara. With the vegetarian sausage, which is very good. Decent way to end it. Of course, I'll be having the Smarties, as well as the oatmeal cookie later tonight. And then that will pretty much do it for the week on. We will check out the results in the morning. All right, the number was 237.2. Let's see what it is now. 228.2. 9 pounds. Impressive. Well, there you have it. 9 pounds lost. Not surprised. Due to the restrictiveness of this particular week on. It's not really a diet, so don't take it as a diet. But I did want to see what basically being on MREs for a whole week would be. Now, I think probably even in the military, when they have MREs, they probably have 2 of those per day, is what I would guess. But I just didn't feel like it was justified in my case because, number one, when you're in the military, you're a lot more active in doing stuff than what I was. Grant you, I was doing work and mail carrying and stuff, but sometimes the military stuff that they do is very energy consuming. So they probably would have 2 meals a day of those. Probably is what I would guess. Not for sure. But yeah, so is it surprising that I lost 9 pounds? Not at all. I felt like this was closer to the James Duncan diet in terms of weight loss ordeal. I guess you could say it was somewhat like the discount dining one where I lost 8 pounds because all the food that I did have didn't feel like it was a lot. But I did have enough that I didn't really feel terribly hungry ever, of course. I think the biggest thing, though, that I'm really ready to get back to is a lot of the foods were kind of high energy, higher protein type things. And what's missing from that? Obviously, sugar. There was caffeine, obviously, with coffee, but there's not as much sugar-based items. So fruit was scarce. Vegetables were pretty scarce as well. And so I'm just ready to get back to that, get back to the variety as well, because there were only 4 different meals that I could have. So I had pasta marinara 3 times. The only one that I have left that I'm probably going to be having is the cheese tortellini at some point. Not today, obviously. I want to take advantage of not having to eat MREs, but I'll probably eat some again. Probably eat some other food too if I'm hungry enough. So there's no restrictions on it. It was interesting. Would I ever want to try to do something like this again? No. I think this would have been fine if I did it for 4 days in a row with each of the different meals and then stopped. But because I did it for a week and for the last 3 days, it was the same meals that I had had from the first 4 days, pretty much. Really not worth it at that point. It was nice for the experimentation to be able to see, what the different meals were like. But again, I don't like doing stuff that's too repetitive in terms of not at least giving y'all and myself something to look forward to or have some sort of interest level in. And after 4 days, it just wasn't there. So because it wasn't there after about 4 days, yeah, that's kind of when this whole thing went downhill for me, because it got very monotonous at that point. So yeah, first 4 days were pretty fun. After that, I was done with it. I was done with it. But hey, I lost 9 pounds out of it. That was good. And I'm looking forward to getting some other food. Hopefully, I can keep some of this weight off, because that 237.2 was a lot for me even. So I need to try to at least keep it somewhere around that number and not up there again. So hopefully next time when we do our next week on next month, which is going to be really interesting, I'm a lot more interested in that one than I was in this one. So this was fun, like I said, first 4 days, but the next one's going to be quite an interesting one, which I think will be fairly restrictive and whatnot, but should have more options than this one did. So until then, I'll see you and enjoy your meal.